So time, time is it just goes, and I think a lot of it is, if you're like, for me, it goes by dates more than anything else. You got like the TT, the Manx. So there's 2 dates, and then you got to fit Christmas in, Easter. So of course it just comes down. So yes, you've got 12 months, but it's only separated by every event's only got a couple of weeks. So yeah, time just goes.
Right, I'll let you get back to the latest James Bond film, Dave. Reason to Die. Thanks, boy.
Right, see you later, boy.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, this is one we're building at the moment for the classic mounts. It's been on the go for a year now. But this is a Drixton 500, and it's built by a lad called Asa Moyes. They used to race back in the 80s and 90s. But this is the last customer 500 frame, because he's packed up now making frames. So this is ongoing project. So hopefully the engine's on the bench at the moment. I'm just this one now. All the wheels are in line. I've got the new carbs for the engine and just little bits and pieces to do. So waiting for the tyres to turn up. So by the end of the month this should be ready to go, and it's just basically a rolling chassis, but we should have to wait and see. It's amazing now that now a lot of the top TT boys are doing the classic. They're finding out how different it is from riding a modern bike. In actual fact, if you go back to the times that my times at TT, like in the senior or whatever, compared to the top boys, are well off pace. But when they get on the same bikes at the classic, we're all the same, and I can still be in the top 10, 4th. You know what I mean? So it is a great leveler if you're on the same bikes. If we're doing the classic Manx or the classic TT, and this is why I've been building this one, because it's not really, it is competitive in its class, but now you've got the Honda 400, the 4-cylinder Hondas out, but I want to be the quickest twin, so that's what we're aiming for this year. The 350, that would go, that usually, basically in the classics, we usually finish in the top 10. So, but hopefully, we all I wanted on this one is a quick lap. I really want 105 out of it on a lap. So hopefully the engine can do it. So that's what we're looking for anyway. The first lap I ever did round at the Manx took me 45 minutes. It was raining, windy, and I finished the lap and I got back and I thought, what have I done? What have I decided to do? I couldn't believe it was that bad. And for like 3 days, the weather was that bad. And in the end, did I finish? I think I blew up in the newcomers race, and the bike. I did finish the lightweight race, but that was you went away from the island thinking I'm never coming back. But since then, I've been back every year, and I've raced from like 81 right the way now to 2019, and hopefully this year as well. So it's 20. So it's something that gets you. You always go away disappointed, and then you always want to better what you did the year before.
afternoon, everyone, and thank you all very much for coming today. The Council of Ministers met today to establish measures to protect the island and its residents in light of the developing global coronavirus pandemic. I am now able to announce the 2020 Isle of Man TT is cancelled to protect our critical care services.
You know, it is going to be severe.
I'm grateful to the Health Minister for speaking to you this morning and taking you through the details of the island's first confirmed case. I, however, need to inform you that we now have a second case confirmed. Whilst we had no confirmed cases on the island, I wanted people to be able to prepare themselves and benefit from those last days of normality before what could be a long period that will be far from normal.
I really wanted to ride, but there's always next year, and hopefully we've still got the classic TT. But we'll just sit back and see what goes.
Well, following on from the news that was probably inevitable for most people to hear, that the classic TT, the Manx Grand Prix, has been pulled for this year. I guess at the end of the day, this was a decision that we had been expecting, but to a lot of people it'd still be quite shocking, Lawrence, especially the hotel and that sort of part of the business here in the Isle of Man that relies on tourism.
But it's something you just get over, and it will hopefully next year it will be back on track, and the money they save maybe for not running it this year should be put in for more prize money next year, so it might be better. Well, I'll be 65 next year, so I was going to make that my last TT anyway. So the money I've saved from this year, I can get all the other jobs I've got to get down and do, and get my other bikes finished off, and start again next year. I spend hours in here. We don't smoke in the house, but I smoke in the garage. So if I want a fag, I'll come out and then I just start tinkering. So I end up staying out here all the time. But I come out here at night, so after my tea, and I'll come out here maybe at 10:30, just have my last cigarette before I go to bed. And then I just pick Sen and Kef and I start working away, and I can be out here till 2 in the morning. I spend too much time in the garage. I need to get a life. But so these are the engines I'm building at the moment, but the longest job basically is cleaning all the parts. I'm happy with my bikes and that, especially my time of life anyway. Even if I had a top BMW now, basically the BMW is one of the best bikes to have around here. Even I had one of those, it wouldn't make me any quicker, so it'd be lost on me. But it'd still be nice to have one and ride one, but it would be lost on me now. I don't think I got any slower than what I was. But you're never going to try as hard as what. I don't know, tries maybe not the right word. But when you were younger, you didn't really see the dangers, and you're going to go to your own limits. You've seen a lot of things that perhaps you shouldn't have seen, and that just takes the edge off you. So you haven't really got any slower or whatever, but you're just that little bit more cautious of what can happen or could happen. And that just takes that, instead of being 101%, it takes you back down to being 95%. So age does come in on that, it makes you just a bit more steady. That's a difficult one. I think it's like most things. You have to plan the things anyway. So it's like anything you plan. If you plan a trip or whatever, but something goes wrong, so you can never you do actually plan your race, and you think about when you're riding, you can think about a load of things. It was like funny when I was leading the TT, and I was going past Crosby, and I was thinking, I'm leading it, £2,500 in prize money, and I actually spent the money. Well, before I got to the bike I packed up at Ramsey, but on the way to Ramsey, I think, God, £2,500. I can pay me bills. I can pay me tyre bill, and it's amazing what you can think. And then, unfortunately, at Solby, in the pit, the mechanic should have put oil in, but he thought he didn't have time to do it, and he didn't put the oil in, and it ran short of oil, and the engine packed up. So I lost it. Well, I pulled in at Ramsey, and the other lad got it. But up until that time, I was 6 seconds in front, and it was my race. But I'll go and think about what you can think about. Though I was concentrating where I was going as quick as I could, I was still thinking, I've won £2,500, I can pay me bills. And poof, gone. And you just sat at the side of the road, just wanting to cry. But and it was like that year we won the Triumph in practice down at the Southern 100 on the Classic. I was quickest in practice and everything, and bike was all set up, and the sponsor took the bike away, and he worked on it. He brought it back the next day for the race, and as soon as I set off, the clutch was slipping, and I was relying on that prize money as well. And when I broke down in the TT, I thought God was supposed to love a trial. But no, racing is just the life, and it's like everything. You need a plan, but plans go wrong. So that's it. It's luck.
It's 11 minutes past 12. Well, the grim news is the TT races have been cancelled for the second year in a row. The Manx government says the decision on the 2021 event down to the ongoing impact of COVID-19 on the worldwide pandemic.